Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is September the 26th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I will say my insomnia crept up on me a little bit again, so we're back there, and no sleep. Well, I slept some, so just not as much as I would have liked, but good day. We soldiered on. Overall work was all right. Definitely, I'm having a thing where there's like a guy got a new position, and now he's choosing with this new position to interact with me more, and I don't like that, but that's okay. I know that this person's doing their best, and I gotta just be adaptable and try to be personable. You'll really use my charisma points, but that's been a little bit of an adjustment. But overall, nothing bad. Overall, good work day. Good stuff there. Let's see, a bit of reading corner. I actually wrapped up State and Revolution as of today. So that's cool. That's nice. That some linen work. But yeah, that was cool. I like reading more communist literature, and hopefully, there's gonna be some more stuff I can read. I'm still kind of putting off going back to Das Kapital, or whatever. But I feel like I've read enough, at least at this point. Like I've crossed off a couple of things that I didn't really expect to do this year. I was like, hey, I'm glad we were able to, finally do it. Finally say, hey, I at least read volume one. I can say I'm that guy. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Food corner was leftovers. It was leftovers though from the good meal from my little birthday dinner. Sadly, no pierogies. We ate them all at the function, but I will say I added some lettuce, and ooh, that was nice. It was nice to get some of that produce in there, for sure. All right, so enough about me. Also, I guess I want to add this just for correction's sake. The other day when I was closing out on the Hollywood strike, no updates yet, but I was talking and kind of blending in and out with the SAG after part, and I was talking about the machine learning, the AI shit. For the writers, obviously that's going to be the actual scripts and stuff like that. Like there was potential fears that in the not so distant future they were just going to have AI write for the writers, and it's like, oh yeah, we don't need writers as bad. But that being said, it looks like that's going to be one of the things that are in the good. But we'll see. We'll get to that. Hopefully later in the week. But yeah, let's talk about some news. I also have some updates. I got some old news I didn't cover from last week. And of course, just cops being foul pieces of shit. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, let me take my little break, my little startup, and we'll go ahead and get into it. Feel good. Feel better than yesterday. I don't know. Yesterday was not. I closed that out feeling I took an L. Sometimes that happens, but this feels good. Feels good. Feels great. All right. Let's start off with Al Jazeera. At least 20 people killed in Nagorno-Karabakh fuel depot blast as thousands flee. Armenia says at least 13,350 ethnic Armenians from the breakaway region entered the country after Azerbaijan's offensive. So, I felt like this was a big update. I really wanted to kind of talk about it. There was a explosion, though it's not said who did it, but this is definitely obviously post ceasefire between the ethnic Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh and the Azerbaijan, who are all encompassing in this situation, and essentially saying, hey, we're taking back our land. Either if you're gonna stay here, you have to become a full citizen, become full Azerbaijan, and get a passport, everything. Like you're gonna have to more or less toe the line, and it looks like people have really responded saying like, hey, I know you guys said there's not going to be any violence and things are going to be cool, but we don't feel safe. This doesn't feel safe. We're leaving. And a lot of people have just, taken whatever valuables they can and have just done a more or less a mass exodus. It looks like more are leaving as well. So I feel like that was a really relevant update to talk about. In terms of, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. I mean, not that it matters how my fucking armchair ass feels about the situation, but my heart goes out to the people of, the Armenian people. It feels like they've had to go through a lot. I will say too, in what I've been reading over, the week or so, it was really weird to like hear what was happening and get an understanding, and then read and feel like they were really adding the part that, hey, just so you understand, the like, almost as if like the Armenians like kind of asked for this because they were separatists and they came into this area looking for their land that was theirs, and now they're here in this situation, and it's simply like Azerbaijan is like taking back theirs. It really felt like that's what they were doing, just with that one word, separatist. Maybe that's me overreading, but like seeing that in the headlines like over and over was just weird. But now that things are kind of continuing on, it does seem like, yes, it's right for people to be scared and concerned about this, like, ethnic cleansing. It's a fucking fear. It's real. And, I think it's something that a lot of people are just hoping does not happen. Despite the fact that there is a death toll, it does seem to be rising. I believe the last number I clocked since, like, as Azerbaijan had made this resistance to kind of take the area back, I want to say it's like around 200. So it's not a small number. And not to mention it's a rising number. And I think that's something that's really big to talk about, that says, hey, like, look, it does seem that if the people here are not going to quote unquote be compliant, then it's like, well, then what? You're going to like eliminate them? Like, I don't know. It's scary. So, my heart goes out to the people there, and hopefully, people are staying safe and getting to where they need to go. And, I can't imagine that. Like, I listened to a story today on the BBC. There was this deaf couple, and like deaf, they couldn't hear. I don't know the way I be talking. And they just like we just took what we could. Like, we're just gonna try to figure out where we're at from here. And it was just like obviously I'm paraphrasing, but man, hearing any kind of these stories just sound really sad, really But yeah, I just wanted to update, touch that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. This is the old news from NPR. Oh, sorry about that. A little gurgler. Alabama band director tased by police for not stopping his student's performance. This was last updated on September 19th of 2023. I want to say this story might be like a week and a half old. But what began as a routine band performance of Talking Out the Side of Your Neck by Cameo at an Alabama high school football game ended in a troubling confrontation when a police officer tased the marching band director for refusing to stop the music. The altercation occurred Thursday around 9 p.m. local time at a game at Jackson Olin High School at Birmingham, Alabama. Minor high school band, that's like minor high school, not that it's like tiny. Johnny Mills, the band director, 39 years old, and his ensemble of 145 students were about a minute away from being done with their final song when a police officer approached the podium. According to both Mims and the Birmingham Police Department, officers asked Mims to stop the performance so they could clear out the stadium. Mims responded that the song was about to end and the performance was agreed upon by both schools. AKA, it's like, look, we are all within the confines of this. We are performing as normal. Now, this is at obviously the end of the game, and they were almost like having like it wasn't Drumline, because Drumline was just way more passionate. They was in the middle of the field. This was like, you're on your side, we're on our side of the bleachers, and we're doing our performance. And essentially he's just like, yeah, we're finishing this out. They're doing their shit, we're doing our shit. And they were being told like, hey, you gotta stop, you gotta shut it down. And he's like, no, and he just keeps going. And essentially then they cut off the lights and he's just wrapping it up. And then that's when the police get aggressive. And essentially they go, okay, you're being yada, it's time to arrest you. and essentially just being like, what the fuck? He essentially gets, forcibly arrested and then tased. Students finished their performance. Officers attempted to arrest Mims for not complying. Police said the band director refused to place his hands behind his back and allegedly pushed an arresting officer. Oh my god! But Mims said he was simply caught off guard, adding that it was difficult to see who was grabbing him because the stadium's lights went out. AKA they were turned off because they were trying to be like, yeah, it's over, it's over. Moments later, an officer pulled out a stun gun and tased Mims. Birmingham police said it happened once, but Mims insists he was tased up to 3 times. So yeah, I mean, it's just an unfortunate, altercation. I really don't feel like the band director was doing anything wrong here. I can understand that you want to just shut this shit down because it's over and you everyone wants to go home. Everyone's like, but like at the end of the day, like he's saying, look, we are here to perform. We are finishing out said performance. This was agreed upon by both sides. Like your school, our school, boom. Like it's supposed to be good. Why am I getting arrested for this? Like it's just insane when just literally patience would have prevailed here. So yeah, I do think it's excessive. That being said, do I think there's going to be any kind of rectification, even upon? No, there's nothing's going to happen here. But I did want to talk about it, and it kind of bundles well with the other 2 stories I have for the rest of the episode. So you can kind of almost take this as like level 1, and then we can just go ahead and escalate to someone getting shot for trying to just come home. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. From The Guardian. Off-duty Texas police officer shoots black neighbor through closed door. We love to see it. We just keep doing this. Like, I love that I get this from The Guardian. This is, publication across the pond, but this is us. This is the U.S. You know what I mean? Like, we just cannot stop shooting each other. We can't. It's insane. Early on Monday, an off-duty Texas Highway Patrol officer thought someone was trying to break into his apartment in Houston, according to authorities. He pulled his gun out, shot the person behind his shuttered door, and realized it was his neighbor. Egad. Yeah, it was your fucking neighbor, dude. The latest case of an off-duty law enforcement officer encountering and shooting a member of the public took place after midnight at an apartment complex just outside Minute Maid Park, where Houston's professional baseball teams, the Astros, play. Yeah, go Astros, or whatever. Yashar Bashir, assistant Houston police chief, told reporters that it was unclear why the man who was shot had gone to the apartment, but the highway patrol officer feared the neighbor was trying to gain entry. So I think that it's said or alleged that like maybe like he was just trying to get in because he didn't like have his keys or something, and that's why this was odd or something like that. I don't fucking know. Also, it said in this article that the trooper gave several commands for the man to step away from the door before the trooper fired his gun. Granted, I don't see a fucking camera here. You're off duty as fuck. No goddamn camera. But, I mean, of course, that shit can toggle on and off. We'll get to that in another fucking story coming soon. But at the end of the day, this man just pulls out and just shoots his 35-year-old neighbor who is black. And luckily, this was not a lethal, fatal situation. He was shot in his right shoulder and survived. No charges have been immediately filed in the shooting. The case echoed other similar encounters in which people shot others. Yeah, essentially they go into other things like the Ralph Yarl thing. We've talked about that. They also reference a story in 2018 of a Dallas police officer, Amber Geyer, mistakenly entering Botham Jean's apartment after a work shift when Jean, 26 years old, was eating a bowl of ice cream. Geiger, who was white, believed Jean, a black accountant from St. Lucia, who lived on the floor above her, was a burglar and shot and killed him. Yeah, awesome. That's so great. So yeah, I mean, this is a frustrating situation. Cooler heads once again could have prevailed here. You say, hey, what's up? What's going on? And it's like, oh, it's my fucking neighbor. I just shouldn't even have my gun out here. Problem solved. But, cops got to be gun-ho. But speaking of gun-ho, let's go to Baton Rouge. We got one more story to cover, and then I'll let you go. All right. And this is from NPR. But you know me, I'm going to take my classic break on a Tuesday. Actually, though, backtrack a little bit with the off-duty officer situation and the neighbor. I don't even know if he was trying to even break in or if that's like some alleged thing that is being like said in the statement. I don't fucking know. I'm really just trying to assume here because it's like, because then what else would it be? Like you're just sitting here waiting, trying to like, oh my God, boom, and you just, no, like I would have to assume that it would have to be that he was trying to get in, and that's also what I heard, I think. I don't know. I'm rambling, I'm ranting, but you know, I'm trying to give y'all the best content I can. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get back to the NPR one. Let's close this out. Let's fucking finish this. Ugh, this story, man. This one's gonna aggravate me though. Okay. The FBI investigates alleged abuse in Baton Rouge police building called the B.R.A.V.E Cave. Okay, let's talk about the B.R.A.V.E Cave and the B.R.A.V.E Division. The FBI said Friday it has opened a civil rights investigation into allegations in recent lawsuits that police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, assaulted drug suspects they detained in an obscure warehouse known as the B.R.A.V.E Cave. Now, this warehouse is like this white warehouse, and it just feels ominous. Like it's just this big white warehouse, and you go in, and there's nothing really in there from what I've seen from the body cam footage from the cops, like that they've toggled on and off. But it's just this room, and there's a couple of chairs, and they sit motherfuckers down, and they do whatever the fuck they want to them. It's fucking macabre shit to me. But in one case, a man says he was taken to the warehouse and beaten so severely he needed hospital care before being booked into jail. Which I believe is he was booked for resisting arrest, but they didn't have anything on him. In another, a woman claims she was strip searched with an officer using a flashlight to scan her body. AKA she was sexually fucking assaulted because they essentially said, oh, you have drugs on you, so we have to do this expansive fucking search in this fucking random ass place that is not a jail. It's not a police headquarters. What the fuck? Where are we? And you just got a fucking flashlight on my fucking pussy? No, bro, that's fucking assault. I don't see how that makes sense and is humane in any kind of fucking shape or form or fashion. Okay, let's continue. Since the first complaint was filed last month, the city's mayor has ordered the facility closed. Oh, thank you, mayor. The police department has disbanded its street crimes unit, which is the B.R.A.V.E division. And an officer at the center of the allegations, the son of the current deputy chief, you gotta love a Nepo baby, resigned and was arrested on simple battery charge. And that's it, just a little simple battery. The FBI officials confirmed Friday that the agency has opened an investigation based on allegations that members of the department may have abused their authority. So yeah, I mean, this shit is fucked up, but I really do feel like the stinger here is there was like, in none of the things that I've heard, it's not like there was anything real or tangential for these cops, which is something I've talked about when it came to the Scorpion division. In previous episodes, where like these guys run off the like most paltry, dumb, trivial ass bullshit, or they just make it up and they go, oh, we're gonna pull you over and just harass you and just then beat the living shit out of you, sometimes in broad daylight when I'm talking about the goddamn Scorpion division, or bringing it here, they can take you to a goddamn black site. Like, and I remember I've heard stories about this shit in Chicago where they've done something very similar where people just get done up off the street. They just get fucking taken up and they just get taken to this fucking place and held for like fucking like 24 hours, like just an inordinate amount of times and then just let out. And it's like because they don't have anything, but they just want to fucking harass you and beat the fucking shit out of you. And maybe you'll fucking squeal about anything, whatever, maybe, who cares? That's crazy to me. Like, These are the people who are supposed to be protecting and serving us, by the way. So it boggles my mind. It frustrates me to no goddamn end to hear these stories. And that's just why I can't help it. Like, I know I talk about fucking bad cops a lot. I know I talk about fucking racial injustice a fucking lot. But I feel like it's important. And yeah, I mean that's just part of the reason why I do this shit. But yeah, that's really all I have for today. Let's see, we did pretty good. Okay, we did great. I didn't take too long. I didn't hold you too long, I hope. But yeah, that's the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and whatnot. But I do have to shill. I have to do that before I let you go fully. Oh, is there a burp? Patreon.com/Isaiah News if you'd like to support financially. You become a newsie at the top of the month. I shout you out, say your name of the podcast, plug a project, thing you're doing. Free ways to hit me up, isaiahnews1@gmail.com if you'd like to send feedback, what have you. Also, you can find me or the podcast on the social network. Insert your favorite here. I'm probably there. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Means a lot. Helps out. Thumbs up. All the stars. You're great. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.